Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My plant is over there. You must wonder why I have toilet papers there. We have a bunch of toilet paper. Not as much as people bought, but a lot of people have given us toilet paper. We've been giving away a lot of them for families in need. I'm just trying to protect the plant there. I want to show you guys something. Yes, I'm a paraplegic, so I'm from waist down. So this is my incontinence spray. So it's also for it says no rinse body wash shampoo and incontinence cleanser. So if I'm out and about and I don't, we have a toddler, so I use wipes. But I use this if I don't have wipes. Another thing is I want to show you guys is briefs. These are medical ones. So if you do the Velcro ones, they're called diapers. They're trying to get at the thing. All of these things are diapers. They're not. Another thing is what we have problem with is clipping our toenails. I'll show you why. So I'll start on my left foot. Alright. So you can see. Don't mind that for a second. See, I messed up that one pretty bad. I took the whole nail off accidentally. So a lot of them I've tried trimming and I horribly screwed up. So don't do that. So that's the problem with us. We have problems trimming our nails if they get long. And if they get long, they can clip on something. We don't know if it rips or not. Do we feel the pain? No. So another thing is shaving our legs. You're like, what? Everybody has okay. With us, right? Some of us just gives up on shaving our legs. Some of us don't. I'm just getting to the point where it's long enough. I'm going to try to trim it with my husband's shaver because I have to go by feel. So, I would like to show you my right foot. Alright, if you're squeamish, please look away for a second. So right there is my toe. And I'll switch it around for you guys. So sorry about getting toddler stuff. He's sleeping now, so I know it took Pat to take half a nail out, and it was so in deep. But I followed and I keep it clean. And there's the nails. So again, you see, so I did an okay job, but it's still infected. So my fingers, I let them grow out, but right now I'm doing this finger. And it's definitely grown, pus came out of it. So with that, like, it is harder for us. Like, this is my second loan. This is from the spinal clinic. I have an air pressure cushion, and this is a loaner chair. My older chair, the tires had a spring tension wire, and the rubber was starting to chip off quite a bit where I would lead a drill. One day, it first blew the first tension wire, so it split the whole wire, the whole half the tire open. It jolted me enough because I didn't have a seatbelt, and I felt I sprung out. Second time, so my husband taped it up, and he went out to get something, I don't know what at that time, it was something quick, and then bam, the second tension went finally, and that released all the pressure off the tire. Like, it wasn't air tires, and they were using the wrong frame too. They had tension wires on an air frame frame. Reason why that's a concern is if you're going to use tension wires, that's fine. You can use a rubbering. Like this one has a rubber with air tires. That's also, yeah. So that is where usually an air nozzle, if this becomes an air tire, right? So we have this bar, right? So this is push bar. This little cold button springs in and out. Because I'm not going to show you guys because I would have to tip it. But this button right here, you push and you can pull the tire out. So if your car is small enough, this would be a foldable frame. So there's this. So you unlock it. So it does raise up, but it's been set up for a wheelchair paraplegic like me. So my brakes of my new chair will be like this, but it will not be a foldable frame. It'll be a solid frame. I like that because I can do sports better. This is the cushion I'm talking about, so it has little triangular pockets in it, okay? So there's a pocket here, pocket there, and pocket. So when I'm moving around, right, I don't get pressure sores. We deal with that a lot. And of course, I would love to have had a small on my, this is the spine chair loaner, not from Red Cross, but because Motion, see, there we go, Motion. They work through the Glamrose, because of my spine injury. I'm like a complete L1 spinal fracture, crushed. I was lucky. One higher, I would have been a quad. So I got this with my older chair. It's like kind of spine cushion. But what I need is to wrap around my hip and wrap around this hip and try to correct my spine. So the problem with that is I have scoliosis and kyphosis. So the problem is my spine is twisting to a degree that is not healthy. But it's okay level. I also have kyphosis, and that's hunchback. So I'm leaning to the right, and my body's twisted. So if I sit normal, so you can see I'm twisted. I'm a little sideways. So, but I don't want to try to slow me down. It does cause chronic pain. I also have muscular dystrophy, Duchenne. I have hypothyroidism, epilepsy, anemia. I've had 2 strokes, 3 heart attacks. I've had 12 blood clots, only 1 DVT. I had emergency surgery at gastro. So I was throwing up coffee. If you're throwing up something called coffee grinds, so it's blood mixes with bile, and you don't see any food, but you see something look like coffee grinds, go to the emergency right away. That was my sign that I had a deadly thing. So by the time the ambulance got here, I was unconscious. There was coffee grind blood everywhere. And immediately I was rushed to the hospital, intubated. I wasn't unconscious. I wasn't really breathing on my own, but they knew I lost a lot of blood. So they did the surgery side. 4 bleeds in my esophagus tube down here, and 3 in my stomach. Usually they call it the silent killer. Well, it didn't kill me. So I was in the hospital for a couple of days. I have no immune system. That caused my life literally hell. And like I have hypersensitivity to sun, grass. I have multiple allergies. I also have asthma, lung damage. I only have half of my lung capacity. I also have deaf. So I get down by 150 decibels and not hear it. My hearing is less than 10%. You're like, well, you're kind of talking, right? I'm like, well, when I pronounce certain words, it doesn't come out right. I do have hearing aids, but they have finally decided cochlear is the best. So to be qualified with cochlear, I'm going to take this off my fingers, so I'm not going to lose circulation. So with cochlear, they do is they're going to cut here, but with coronavirus, it literally stops all non-emergency surgeries. Kind of sucks, but oh well. My bones are not very well. I'm low in calcium. I'm addicted to drinking Pepsi. I do have a soda stream here, but with my stress and that, I used to be an alcohol 5.5 years sober. Woo! I used to be a drug user, right? Just because my pain was so bad, I just wanted the pain to stop or not to feel it for quite a few hours. And trust me, I did occasionally here or there. I wasn't depressed, and I was one of those people that saying to myself, yeah, I can do it myself. Yeah, I can do it myself. So you guys. But you know, I realize it's okay to ask for help. Honestly. Sorry, I'm just putting you guys. I don't want you guys to see them. Just trimming this fingernail on my finger. So, I do have a high pain tolerance. Because I'm literally taking a whole ingrown out of my finger. So, if you're squeamish, I have an ingrown toenail finger right there. So, I took the bandage. It's bleeding now. I just cleaned up that one. The skin was overlapping. But this one was pussing this morning. And I just poked it with a little bit. I was going to start using this. I was like, no, let's just try to see if I can trim down the edge. The minute I poke it with the edge, it literally popped out the ingrown nail. So, yeah, in my life. So, I'm hypersensitivity. I'm allergic to weird things. Parsley, bees, hornets, wasps. Parsley, under 3 seconds, I would literally stop breathing. Well, I've had kids as well, if you're probably wondering. I had Casey when I was 8. Then I had another girl when I was 15. So if you do the math, I am 31 years old. So I have 2 almost adult kids. I have an adult kid. Casey would have been already adult, 18 years old. She was taken away from me when she was 16. What happened was she was murdered. That's a hard thing for me to talk about, but life is that, and you just gotta move on and just keep the memory of her. I've lost my brother in Afghanistan. I lost my dad. He was the 6th generation firefighter / coal miner. Right? I'm retired. I want to say retired, but you can't really retire from firefighting. I was a firefighter rescue lieutenant. Just something happened on the job that put me finally too traumatized. Because I would do forest firefighting and I'd be fine. Doing back burns or cleanup or rescues. I was fine. I would try to hold it in as much. But I couldn't handle after that accident with my team. I couldn't. If you asked me if I was still walking, would want to go back to the job? Hell yeah. I would want to. You're never really retired. You're always trying to save people's lives, even when when you're retired. I've helped a friend that had a seizure while I'm in a wheelchair. So with me, it's hard, right? Because my instinct of firefighter rescuer comes right in my mind, going, go, 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 go. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. When I have heart problems, I have irregular heartbeat. So here's another story of happened. I went to the hospital because I have high blood pressure, 130. Usually it's around 130. Just when I checked it for supper, it was 137 over 115 and the pulse was 112, and it was showing irregular heartbeat. I have something called sometimes 1 or 2 extra heartbeats. This is another thing is TV, stop. That's one thing. They don't use paddles. So they got me in right away because I was having palpitations and my blood pressure was in 140s. And that's dangerously high. So they got me in right away. So I would start sitting down in the bed. They had me laying down, then I sitting up, right? And the alarm on the monitor can tell that, hey, her heart's skipping beats. Hey, her heart's getting higher, right? And then the nurse came in and says, looks like you're having an AFib attack. I'm like, yeah, I know. I can feel it. So when I'm having an AFib attack, I can actually feel it in my chest so badly, and then it feels like something go boom, boom. boom, 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 punchy. I also have Tourette's, by the way. If you see my hand, sometimes go flinging around, or I blurred up words. Yeah, so just want to give you guys that kind of heads up. It's caused all to the trauma of my brain injuries and that. Another thing is that, so that was happening, and then they had the one rail up and one rail was down. And that's not quite safe for a paraplegic. And then suddenly I felt where bam! And literally felt like I was gonna pass out. Like I literally almost fell to the side. It's from AFib to ventricular fibrillation. So they're getting magnesiums, medications, IVs, and they're trying to find an IV. They couldn't because I've been poked so many times. Not because of drugs, because of blood work. When I had that DVT, I had weekly blood work just to make sure that no blood clots would be coming. And that's why I sleep with my feet elevated. Or 9 out of 10 times my feet has to be elevated. So that happened, and boom, they're moving me to a trauma room while they're calling cold blue my room. I'm like, and the monitor showing my oxygen drop. They put a mask on my face, a pumper mask on my face, and I'm like, my chest, and I thought I was having another heart attack, because if I have pain in my chest, a shooting down my arm. They're giving me this fast mask in my face, and they're pumping air for force down. It's like CPAP, but it's not. I've also had that treatment, CPAP machine. That's before intubation. So I have severe asthma, and they got me on the monitor. My heart was in the 160 beats, and I was having a ventricular fibrillation. So they got me in the crash cart, and they don't do paddles, guys. They put a sticker, and a sticker here, something like that. I wasn't really watching. I was out of it completely. And then they said clear. And it bloody hell hurt. I was like, they were like, okay, she's got back in a regular rhythm, but she's still having the irregular heartbeat. But this is okay. We got her pulse down. Now we can figure out, okay, is she on the cardiologist wait lately? Yes, I am. So, I don't know. That was a really scary thing. But I realized they don't use paddles. So, I was shocked about that. Get it shocked. So, they had me on the Zoll machine. So, that if I have another ventricular fibrillation, I would have had to been go and be admitted to the hospital, right? So I can see in the hospital cardiologist. So I talked to the ICU nurse, and she says we can on the cardiac machine where you got zapped. That's what these paddles and the car ECG we have going on the crash cart. It is showing you're skipping beats, and you are on a wait list. But we just gotta, hopefully, you get to see a cardiologist pretty soon. If not, either way, keep doing what your doctor's saying. If your blood pressure goes above 140, you go in. Or if you're having too many populations, that means you've got a heart beating, is you go in. Me, I thought of hell hospitals because everyone has to gown up, except my husband, because he's around me 24/7. I have almost no immune system. Reason why my mom and dad was in Chernobyl when the disaster happened. She was told, right, she was in the infirmary in Pripyat, the Chernobyl reactor. So she was around the people trying to help them, the first responders from there. But when my mom saw it, she was getting she had in the end 25,000 REMs or more. We don't know the exact. Because she set the house on fire, I was put in the system because I was the most the last kid to be born, and because she had more and more complications every time she had kids, and she was in a rush to have as many kids she wants before she can't have kids anymore. And she kind of screwed up my life. So I do have radiation from my mother from Pripyat, but I wasn't born there. But due to my mother having high amounts of radiation, it goes through her a lot. When she passed away, she couldn't even be buried. She had to be cremated, specialized burial, because in the end, to tell you guys the truth, she had over 45,000 rounds in her. So she was a ticking time bomb, a radiation bomb walking around. So I lost my sister. She was a volunteer firefighter. I love her so much. I miss her. I got a box. It was right here. Her box. Right? So I met my biological dad in 9/11. I was a nerd in school, a techie. I love being a techie. So I can wipe phones, figure out phones, backdoor phones, fix people's computers, figure out what's wrong with a computer, do diagnostics and all that. I also know how to do coding and that. And the old ways of HTMLs for websites and that. Yes, I was in 9/11. I was a minor, almost adult. But what happened was I was one tip with my friend. We were kind of screwing around. We were both nerds, and we didn't have to go to school because we were skipping. We skipped 4th grade, so we were in high school, and we were about to be graduated in 2 years. So I've never told anybody. So when minors was, the first victim of 9/11 was the chaplain, victim 001, because he died with the building being collapsed. He got us out, and I wanted to thank him, but he lost his life when the building collapsed. It was so weird. The plane was, the elevator for some reason stopped at a certain, 3 floors where the plane crashed, after we find out. So we went in the offices, a busy floor, busy offices. And this guy, I guess, was facing where the plane was. Because suddenly, the building started to shake. I'm like, okay, we're not in California. Yes, I was in California quite a few times. Orlando, San Francisco. That was creepy when I had they had a minor earthquake. They call it minor. Me, I felt like, whoa, that's different. So, in the end, it went all to silence. Everybody was frozen. We looked at the ceiling. It was glowing. But this guy, I guess, seen the plane coming because he pushed us under his wooden desk. Because she was making the call to her mom that we're have to get on the next elevator to go all the way up. We didn't get on the express elevator, thank God. But in the end, everyone was frozen. And I just went into what my dad told me, and what I've been learning is you stay low, and she kept screaming, they're dead, they're dead, they're dead. I'm like, I know they're dead. It haunts me. And we were trying to figure out how to get the fuck out. She said, take the elevator. I'm like, no. Whatever fucking happened, it is fucking huge. I don't know what happened, but we gotta figure out, we gotta get out of here now. She says, we're not walking, we're crawling. We're gonna be doing, baby will crawl, because the lowest can. So we're doing this, and we're like, oh fuck. We went to one door, well, the stairwell's clearly collapsed. We went to this stairwell A, I think. I can't remember, but if the door was bent, and all we could do was bang, 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 help, 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 help. Here, and we're like, we're not gonna make out of it. So I'm trying to jump, like, pull the door open, me, and then this is New York, New York Fire Department chaplain. I can't remember his name, but he was victim 001. He was actually the one that pushed us to keep going down the stairs. We were walking. It felt like an eternity walking down the stairs. And we got to the lobby, and there's so much bodies everywhere. My friend is freaking out, and this guy he has no legs, and he just grabs my hand and says, "Honey, I'm home." And I'm like, "Yeah, honey, you're home. You can go now." And I didn't even know this guy, and I'm just comforting him. I remember the chaplain said, "You be a good firefighter, but we gotta get out of this building." And I'm like, "You can go now." And he died. He had a black label, so he's dying. And we got out, and it was chaos everywhere. And then we heard him say, "Run!" We're like, "Oh, we fucking run." That day, he died when the building was being collapsed. He got us away from the building. But then I realized when I called him that he was on the last plane. So I actually got this scar. I had a sheer piece of metal in my stomach. So, yeah. That's my scar from 9/11. I always have, my dad bought me, he says, "Here, have a good memory of 9/11. I'm like, he bought me a 9/11 t-shirt with 2 towers, and it's nice and all that he got me that, but it's like, we couldn't go home. We missed half the school year. It was cool. We got exemption from school. So last year we were graduating, and I ended up in a massive crash. My friend was never the same after 9/11, and I decided that after the crash and after 9/11, I was in a truck accident, and my truck rolled 2 times. We were heading from Scath's, the farm my parents and grandparents and my great-grandparents owned. And drunk driver hit us. We rolled about 6 times. My best friend in the back, Lizzie, we call her Lily or Lizzie. She wasn't, her seatbelt must have been defective, or the belts, and, or her belt snapped with the tension, because she flung out, and, Bobby was in the front, and I was in the back, front driver, and the driver hit me, so my end of my car was smashed. The steering wheel was crushing my legs, and crushing my sternum. My tibias, both my tibias was broken. Skull fractures, like, the passenger driver seat, pretty much was crushing me. And airlift can only take one person at a time to fly us to the correct hospital. Bobby had a 35% chance to live. I only had 19%. Because if they removed Bobby from the driver's side, the car would have crushed me. It would have completely, because the roof was already caving in. And last thing, I was in the kind of consciousness, and I remember Bobby grabbing my hand, and he said, "Go find Mark." Mark was a senior when I saw him when I was a junior. I had a crush on him. I woke up 5 months later. I have broken bones and everything. but I made it. And my goal was to graduate school, like graduate firefighting. I want to be a female firefighter. I want to be like my dad, a 6th generation firefighter. And, you know, my dad was proud, and Rosemary was proud, and one of my friends actually knew she came to my graduation, and, you know, I changed a lot of lives. Like, I did the same thing what my dad did. One life you save, one life you save, you could change 1,000 lives different. And that's why you never retire from firefighting. So that's the story about me, you guys. I know this is a bit long video. But, so with this heat and that, it's really hard on me. Was also on my spare time an animal rescuer. So I was a busy person, and I always connected to animals and that. And so that's a bit of story about me. My next video, I would get more in detail about wheelchairs of different kinds, the incontinent program. I mean, people can buy adult diapers with patterns and that. So this one, I'm just showing you, has the date and time, and so like this. So this is like for full incontinent. So pretty much this how. So this is the back. So you look, that's the back, and this is the front. Next time, I will show you how I change, how I clean, or what happens if I have a rash. I'll show you everything. And I'll show you what we use as a soaker. Told Bridgettville. Soaker. You know, I sleep on a soaker. If I have overflows, obviously it happens a lot, but oh well. And always I have to be drinking fluids, and this is a cool thermos, 7 hours hot and 18 hours cold. I saw a bigger thermos that holds longer cold. Wish list I want to get. So that is me. I'm always home by myself. I got my first shot. I only was able to get Pfizer, the limited amount. I had a big dose because in the end it was a double-sided sword, because I react. I can't take the flu shot. I can't take the pneumonia shot. When I took the rubella, measles, and mumps, I had a deadly reaction. Anaphylactic. Amoxicillin. I was the first Canadian to react to amoxicillin, 2 medications. So when they say to me, "Do you break out with penicillin? Do you have a reaction to penicillin?" I'm like, "Yes, I have amoxicillin." So whenever they give me antibiotics, I have to wait 1 hour for immediate reaction. And then they says, when I go home, right, I have to wait till the 3rd day. And if the 3rd day I have a reaction, then I can't take that medication. Because some medications, right, you can have immediate reaction, or when it takes time to get in bloodstream, like amoxicillin, the 3rd day I react. It takes 3 days to get in your system. That is a dangerous sign. So either way, they have to wait an hour for medications. If the hospital has to give me antibiotics, that's another thing. And another time, I will talk to you about the time that I nicked my foot and got a badly infection in my foot, and I never felt anything. They deprived it. They cut it open. They took off the dead skin, popped the blister multiple times, stuck around dead skin around it. So you see, pretty infection was like they had to cut all up here. Yeah. So I'll have that the rest of my life. But yeah. So other than that, I have a 2-year-old. And we've been helping people my husband been helping people move, or when they lost a place, is we take in their animals, or we, like this one couple, I felt like they're part of my friends, they got evicted, and obviously they're moving furniture for them. like moving stuff, and they paid the first month's rent, but obviously she read the agreement wrong, that they're not supposed to have animals or else you get 24-hour eviction. And they tried to skip it, tried to hide the animals, but obviously they got caught and they got a 24-hour eviction. But the guy was nice enough to give them a 2-day eviction notice, and then if they weren't out, the sheriffs would come. So I think they learned their lessons. Don't sneak in animals if you're not allowed. So we helped them out. They moved in with family, and hopefully they get back on their feet. But they're gonna have to restart everything, and we'll be there to help them out. You know, a lot of the furniture they had went into donations or other families. So when we are doing these clear outs, helping people move, or when they get evicted and they can't afford storage, and they say, do whatever you want, you could donate or keep it or have someone else, we put that reach out. Who needs this? Who needs this? Who needs this? And obviously, we got our fans and a lot of toilet paper because obviously, we got a couple fans, and we didn't grab actually very much, but yeah, I was really surprised. We got like 12 bins of DVDs I have to go through because I'm the person that's a movie person, and I'm hopefully that I will be putting that on my Facebook account. I'll put my Facebook information down there because I do sell a lot of things on my page, right? Or if a family's in need, like a mother, we donate all our sons. She was having a boy, so we pay it forward. When we moved in our place, we had nothing. So we know how hard it is to start over. It is. And now having a toddler, I think he's waking up. So pretty much he's in the second bed. We gotta now do a 3-bedroom because we're helping out another person to slowly get him back onto his feet. So we're one of those people that we pay it forward, or we help people out. Like I did a apartment down here that she couldn't do the cleaning because her boy is traumatized. So we did the whole cleaning all night long, and our little boy helped out a little bit. And I went tired, and our baby monitor made it all the way down the hallway where she was. So that was really interesting. So yeah, that's a bit about me and our household. So please hit the like button and smash that subscribe button so you will know whenever I'm popping up a video. Sometimes they'll be short, and sometimes they are long. This is my second YouTube channel. My other one I got locked out of. So sorry if everybody's on that channel. So I will add you all to my channel so you can follow me. So see you later. Take care, you guys. If you're in Edmonton, Canada, we had a good little storm, but hopefully this heat stays low. Bye, you guys. And everybody of the fire department, first responders, and the nurses, and all those people that working on this coronavirus, I would say, good job, guys, and we thank you all for all your service and all what you guys are doing through this battle of this pandemic. We all thank you. So stay safe, keep going, and thank you so much. So remember, hit the like button and subscribe button, and I'll keep update with you. Have a good day, guys. Bye.